Good evening. Welcome to the Celtic Way, and it's a reaction to Brendan Rodgers' pre-match press conference as Celtic take on Livingston tomorrow in the Scottish Premiership. I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10 on the X or a Twitter handle, and I'm joined tonight by Ryan McGinley at the Ryan McGinley on the X or Twitter handle. Good evening, Ryan. How are you, sir?
Things are doing good, yeah, at the end of a very busy day on the Celtic Way, but looking forward to getting in and talking about Brendan Rodgers' pre-match press conference, because I thought he was in good form today. We spoke on the morning briefing about the need for him to have the right tone today, and he certainly did. I thought he came out, as you said, he came out swinging, which is pretty good. Seems like a man that's very much up to the task and up for the task tomorrow against Livingston, but certainly plenty to look forward to and plenty to discuss in today's short video.
I just want to put on record, are you watching Hamish Carton? Because this is a full day's work that young Ryan and myself did. He was accusing us of being work shy in the morning briefing. No having that, Ryan. He's certainly not work shy. So I'll reiterate that. Are you watching Hamish Carton? Hope he is. Probably in his bed, no doubt. But there you go. Yes, indeed, Ryan. Pre-match press conference. We spoke this morning about wanting to see certain things, and I spoke about I thought there'd be a lot of home truths being spoken, and a bit of reflection and all that over the past couple of games, and that seems to certainly be the case, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we mentioned off air what I said, he came out swinging, and I was chuffed at that. He sort of gave a lot of answers to questions that you wanted addressed. Isn't that right? Anything leap out for you immediately, Ryan?
I just liked his whole demeanour in general. You could go on and talk about individual questions, as I'm sure we will do, but I was impressed at how he handled each question. Obviously, we split the press conference up halfway. So I've got when I think of Brendan Rodgers' answers, I think more towards the ones that you actually transcribed rather than the first half, which is what you took, which was more focused on the players sort of dusting themselves down, some home truths that were spoke after the game. Maybe the players weren't at the level that was expected of them. But the second half, it was quite a weird one, because you're usually expecting an injury update at the start of a press conference. That's usually the first thing. Sometimes the journalists will sort of take the hit whoever starts first, because that's the news that can make the headlines. But they seem to go right into the negatives, which was quite interesting, which is fair, because it has been a bit of a negative place over the past week or so with the results that have been going against Celtic. But you would have liked to have heard the injury updates earlier on, and not the fact that it was the second last question that was asked. It was pretty much doom and gloom from the beginning up till the near enough the very end. But glad we got that injury update. I'm glad that there was some home truths. I'm glad that he's addressed the players and said what's been going not so well with the club, and that he's prepared to work through it, and he seems pretty confident that there's going to be a reaction tomorrow, so hopefully that will be the case.
And he was also very chuffed at the fact that the Green Brigade were coming back, Ryan, as well. He addressed that too. He was asked that question, wasn't he?
Yeah, I really like that response that he gave. He also kind of... No, I've seen a couple of coaches do this. Jurgen Klopp famously did it a couple of weeks ago with regard to atmosphere. It was a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a bit of a shout out to the fans that are at the games that aren't making enough noise. I remember Jurgen Klopp was talking about that, and he was quite annoyed at the fact that there was no atmosphere. Obviously, they don't have a standing section, so the noise is generated through the standing section at Celtic Park, and when they're not there, and when the boys are showing solidarity with the Green Brigade, then there will be a natural decline in the noise levels. So the fact that they're back, I think everybody will feel in the mood to be singing and dancing with the Green Brigade back in town. That's for sure. Yes, there's negatives that come with it, but I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons in this instance.
Now, few comments coming in. Love this name. Lidder my granny's bin. Nice one. I am working late, so it gives me something to listen to. Cheers for that. Robert Arbuckle says, Tony, did you get to ask Brendan a question today? I wasn't at the press conference today, Robert, so the answer to that is no. And Hazel Finn's asking, didn't hear any mention on to Moki Iwata, though. He wasn't asked that either, which was a bit disappointing, wasn't it, Ryan? I mean, you sort of flagged it up and said that
Especially,
was the only thing that was missing from today.
yeah, especially since he started the, what was it, 3 or 4 games before he got injured. You would think that would be headline news. The fact that
Yeah.
he's then missed every game since that injury against Feyenoord last Wednesday. It's disappointing because you want to hear about these players, and it's even more disappointing when me and you are trying to do predicted lineups. I feel like we've said this before, but it's handy to hear about injury updates to certain players, and the fact that we didn't hear about that. Hopefully, he gets asked maybe post-match after the Livingston game, because I know that that's doubling up as sort of the pre-match content for the Dundee game on Boxing Day, just due to the fact of logistics and the fact that they won't be around on Christmas Day to do those press conferences. You're hoping that gets addressed, because, you know, I think a lot of people were quite happy to see Tomoki Iwata go into that starting lineup. The fact he got injured was a source of real disappointment for many, so they just want to hear if that sort of player can come back, because I think he elevates quite a few players, not just himself, but Cal McGregor then pushes further forward. O'Reilly doesn't need to do as much defensive work, even though he's good at it. So yeah, it would be good to hear about an update for Iwata, but we didn't get any, which makes you think that he won't be fit for tomorrow's game.
Now, guys, you can see Ryan put up the question and answer sessions on the screen. As you can see, it's on our website, Q&A, the full Q&A session. Myself and Ryan have transcribed that. If you want to log on, you'll be able to see that.
There you go. It's in the comments.
As usual. Yeah, there it is. There it's there, guys. Ryan's put up. And Ryan underlined the 3 pillars that the headline was required to make the club a force. Brendan Rodgers himself said the managers, players and the supporters, didn't he, Ryan? Basically, that was the 3 pillars there. You'll get, if you scroll down, you may be able to read that answer, if it's, because I think that was part of the one that I transcribed.
Yeah, it will be down here somewhere. Here it is here.
There it is, yep. Yeah.
That's what makes Celtic, when you have the manager, the supporters and the players all on the same page, then it is a real force to have in the game. Yeah, that's exactly what Brendan Rodgers is definitely wanting. Between himself, the fans and the players, if they're all together, then it can only breed success for the club moving forward. Everybody's got to be singing from the same hymn sheet, and if they're doing that, then they'll all be pulling in the same direction.
And that's basically what he was talking about. And also, you know, you can be cynical about these things as well, but there was a Sky Sports article breaking that sources in Italy were claiming that Inter Milan were interested in taking Matt O'Reilly on loan. And timing's everything, isn't it, Ryan? A week before a Celtic Rangers game, and Celtic have lost their last 2 games. Let's hit the manager with a question on what selling one of your prize assets, or will you find that? I think the question was phrased, do you fear losing him or something in the January transfer window? And he just swatted it aside, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, I don't have any fear for any of the players. He's delighted for Matt. He's made a fantastic step forward this season as a Celtic player and in his career. It shows his focus and mentality, his training, as well as the confidence he's taken into the games. Then he will always attract the interest of teams. But I don't have any fear. He's a good guy. And when you do that, Matt, and when you do what Matt does, then you're always going to have interest that will come your way. For now, he's very much focused on performing for Celtic through until the break. So yeah, that's good words, but there's been plenty of compliments from Brendan Rodgers to Matt O'Reilly and vice versa this season. Seems to be a good relationship between the pair, and that's shown on the pitch for Matt O'Reilly. Yeah,
he also came back to it as well, didn't he, and said he was looking to add players, not sell them, didn't he? I think that was further down the Q&A. So I was just delighted the way he kind of dealt with that, because it could have been, you know, he lingered on the negativity, but he didn't. He just, as I say, he just batted it aside, didn't he? Whereas it's somewhere in there, isn't it?
But doesn't need to be colour coded.
Yeah, if you go on,
because they all look the same here.
If you'll read it on the Q&A yourself, and he addressed a couple of other things with Hatate coming back and Abada coming back as well, didn't he? Said they were still.
I'll just go down to that just now.
Yeah.
It was more on Abada. I don't even think he was asked about Hatate, which was quite interesting considering he was back on the pitch last week. I don't want to hammer home this point too much, but it would really help if that's one of the first couple of questions. It should be injury issues rather than, I think there's a joint understanding with people to ask that question first. The fact it was getting asked close to the end felt like it was a bit of an afterthought more than anything else, which was quite disappointing.
Should be one of two things. It should be right at the start, or it should be addressed fully at the end. It's just you can do it either way. If you want an injury update right there and then you address it right at the start, or you finish on that question, say injury update, and then everybody knows where they stand before they leave. But that's the way I would do it. But hey, I wasn't there, Ryan. Neither of us were there. We would probably have asked that question. They say we can't pick and choose what questions other journalists ask, but I would have thought Tomoki Iwata would have been high up in somebody's agenda, but apparently not. So yeah, but there you have it. But no, I thought, as I say, he came out swinging today. There was that sparkle that I spoke about and twinkle in the eye. I thought, Ryan, and I think, like everything else, I think Brendan Rodgers is looking forward to tomorrow as well, to see what kind of reaction he'll get from his players.
I think he just wants a response from the players and everybody in general, because I think a response from the players would then in turn be a response from the supporters. The Green Brigade will be there tomorrow. I'm sure they're doing their curtail, and then the way they will make their way into the ground, which is absolutely brilliant. It's good that both sides have found both sides of the argument have found a resolution in the perfect time as well, because it feels as if the club did need a lift, and there certainly has been a lift, especially on social media today. There was an excitement when the North Curve Collective posted that video today. It shows just how important they are to the general atmosphere. Their tifos are fantastic, and the amount of noise that they make, it's a visual spectacle that comes with the Green Brigade, and you can hear the audio that comes out of them as well. They bring so much to the table, both in a charitable way, and in terms of bringing that atmosphere to the ground. So yeah, I'm delighted to see them back.
Yeah, I think most Celtic supporters are delighted to see them back, Ryan. The Green Brigade will bring some colour in the atmosphere and the noise back tomorrow, and I think it will lift everybody, including the manager and the players. And as he said, that's all you need for Celtic. If we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, that's what you need to be a force. And I think, sadly, Livingston might feel the force tomorrow, or feel the brunt of that force tomorrow. Certainly that's what I'm hoping for.
I think that's what all the Celtic fans are hoping for. There needs to be a response tomorrow. I outlined that in the predicted 11s as well, which is also available on the website just now. I'll put in a wee link when I get round to doing that after I answer this question. But in that predicted 11, I said that there has to be a response. There's no other way about it. Celtic cannot be dropping points, especially at home to Livingston. Yes, there's an excuse for dropping points away from home. Maybe a lesser excuse due to the fact that Celtic have managed to get results in the Tony Macaroni pitch, the plastic pitch, which I think is the worst out of a bad bunch of plastic pitches. But at home, there's no excuse. Livingston are going to sit back and try and soak up pressure, maybe try and hit in the counter. But Celtic have got to have a siege mentality tomorrow. They've lost the past 2 games in the league. They cannot make it 3 in a row. They can't. A draw would feel like another defeat tomorrow. I say that draws feel like defeats anyway, but another draw would feel like a defeat tomorrow and give more ammunition for Rangers to close the gap even further ahead of that game on the 30th. It's got to be a win, and I would say even a resounding win. The performance has got to go with the win tomorrow. Anything else would be a bit of panic stations, to be honest with you.
I'm hoping that Kyogo Furuhashi gets in amongst the goals again. Ryan, Hazel Finn saying the stadium should be rocking tomorrow. Glad to hear it. But yeah, we want Kyogo to get back on the saddle, don't we, and do what he does best and score.
Yep. A hat-trick would do very, very nicely tomorrow, to be honest with you. Kyogo likes to turn it on at the best possible times, I think. He's a big game player. He knows what is required of him. He's done it for the past 2 years now at Celtic. He's into his third season. Yes, he's not been firing on all cylinders, but he has scored important goals. In order to score important goals, he needs to get himself back in form. You're just hoping that he can sort of prey on Livingston tomorrow against a team that have been struggling of late. Miovski scored 2 goals against them in midweek. You're hoping that Kyogo could maybe go one better tomorrow. Not to downplay the opposition, because they've been a regular in the Scottish Premiership for a while, but they are really struggling at the moment, and you're hoping that Celtic can inflict more damage on David Martindale's team tomorrow at 3:00.
Danny boy, please no Taylor tomorrow. He just can't keep playing no matter how bad he is. Spoiler alert, Danny, he's not in my team. Young Mitchell Frame has made the cut for my team at left back, so I think that's the only difference in the sides that we picked, Ryan, from myself and yourself.
I think so. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's the only difference between the two sides that we both picked. I want to see Mitchell Frame, but I think that Bucky Thistle game will be the game for him to make his first start for the club, especially coming off the back of the winter break. It could be a good game for him to bed him in against lower league opposition, or even lower league opposition. Mitchell Frame looks like a really good talent. I thought he showed himself up to be really a good performance. Was it Feyenoord that came on against?
Yes.
All the games are coming thick and fast. They all feel the same. I thought he provided a good outlet on that left-hand side. And I think he won the corner that led to the makeup of Celtic's winning goal. So yeah, he was definitely involved. He looks like a good young talent. There's a reason why he was named in that Champions League match day squad. He didn't play against the Feyenoord B team or the Feyenoord youth team, and he came on and he showed that he's got the skills to pay the bills, you could say. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in the new year, but I think it will be Greg Taylor tomorrow. But I think Greg Taylor has got to up his game, because that will be a position that Celtic will strengthen in January. I think it'll be negligence if they don't strengthen in that area, to be honest with you.
130 people joining us live. We appreciate that, guys. Thanks very much. As I say, the full transcription is on the website, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. If you want to subscribe, we'd love you to subscribe. Costs you £4 for 4 months for access to everything that's on the website, or £18 for a yearly subscription. Why not take out a yearly subscription? It's we believe it provides value for money, and you'll get notifications for when we're going live on the YouTube stream like this. YouTube videos are free, but we can't continue to do them for free unless people subscribe to the channel. So hit that button, guys, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. We genuinely appreciate it. We don't just pay you lip service. It helps us continue to do what we do, provide top quality content for you guys, both in the video channel and on the website. Isn't that right, young Ryan?
Absolutely. We certainly think it's value for money. £4 for 4 months just equates to £1 a month, and you'll get the best quality Celtic journalism. You'll get Q&As fully transcribed. You will get instant analysis from Tony and myself. You will get premium pieces from the likes of Alan Morrison, Stuart Ross, myself, and Tony again. Tony and I are involved in absolutely everything that goes into this, from the video side to the written part as well. There's not a thing that we can't do, it seems, on this platform, whether that be in written form or written form, audio form, or video form. We've got loads of big plans for 2024 that we're keeping under wraps just now, but we are aiming to make things bigger and better as we go into the new year. If you want to be a part of that, then please visit www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe and get involved. We're definitely watch this space ahead of next year. That's what we definitely say.
So put that in your pepper, Hamish Carton. That's what I say, we're delighted that Hamish is on board. Excellent host of the daily morning briefings. He's made a big difference to the channel already in his short time here. Lots of people tuning in and watching the videos, seeing a big upsurge in that. So thank you for that, guys. Appreciate that. And as I say, onwards and upwards, hopefully, for the channel. But yeah, today I was delighted, but I also like the fact that the manager said this is all fine and well. Celtic players do their talking on the pitch. That's what I want to see tomorrow, Ryan. Bit of talking on the pitch tomorrow. a performance and a result, the atmosphere back would just go down nicely. And I think it was Hamish that said this morning, come 4:45, 5 o'clock, Celtic supporters might feel a whole lot better about themselves if that is the case.
Yeah, if it's not, and I don't want to get too negative again, but if it's not, there needs to be big questions asked of the team if they don't get a lift. Yeah, if they don't get a lift, especially with the Green Brigade being back with the bigger atmosphere. One thing is for sure, if they don't, then they'll hear the full brunt of the Green Brigade. They will not hold back in what they feel about the way the team is going. It'll be interesting to. I'm sure there'll be a buoyant mood tomorrow, being back for the first time in a few months. They've been sadly missed with their atmosphere and the drive they give the team. You're hoping that the players on the pitch can then take not inspiration, but they can take what would be the word there? They can take some fire from off the pitch and take it onto the pitch, and that can translate to goals on the pitch and a good performance as well. If that's the case, then everybody will be singing from the same hymn sheet from on the pitch to off the pitch, and yeah, the club will be in a pretty good place once again. You've got to put the pressure on. Rangers don't play until Christmas Eve, so to get those 3 points on the board, Celtic have not been putting any pressure on Rangers whatsoever. Let's underline that point. Rangers have been given the opportunity to close this gap through Celtic's misdemeanours and through their loss of form completely. So it's up to Celtic to begin to put some pressure on Philippe Clement's side, and if they can do that, who knows what can happen at Fir Park less than 24 hours later. But in order to do that, they've got to do their own business, and that's winning games against Livingston at home. There is no excuses. They have got to go out and win the game, potentially resoundingly as well.
Yeah, Christmas cheers, Ryan, not Christmas cheers. We want tomorrow, isn't that right? But a Christmas cheer for the Celtic supporters.
We don't all want to be caught in head in the muggins after this game. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't know what other Christmas cliches I can put in. I'm sure there'll be plenty more where that came from tomorrow. But yeah, just put some Christmas cheer in there rather than Christmas cheers. I like that, Tony. I'm gonna roll with that.
Are you rolling with that? Are you, sir? That's
absolutely
very kind. Nice one. Yes, I'm sure.
Rolling with it, an oasis of cliches from Tony.
Indeed, it's been a long day. We have worked the whole day. Let's put it that way. And yeah, but indeed, as I say, the talk is cheap, isn't it? It's about doing it on the park tomorrow. Celtic haven't performed on the park the past couple of weeks or past couple of games. Certainly, we're hoping to put that right against Livingston tomorrow. Everybody would feel better about themselves. That's why I always say it's result dependent, Ryan. Don't I always say that? Because it affects your mood, and it's affected your mood all week. On Monday,
don't ruin Christmas, Celtic. Come on, man.
On Monday, we were all a bit crestfallen, but Friday, we're all optimistic and buoyant again. And the Green Brigade are back. Something that's definitely something to cheer. They'll be cheering the boys on as well. I think Brendan Rodgers and the players are really looking forward to hearing the crowd again tomorrow. Get behind the side. You'll be there, Ryan. I'll be in the orifice or in here doing all the kind of stuff, the niggly stuff, but there you go, somebody has to do it. But you'll be looking forward to it, I think, are you not?
Absolutely, yeah. It's always good to get back to Celtic Park. I know they've lost their past 2 domestic games, but it's always a good chance to get back to Celtic Park. Never ever take it for granted whatsoever. I know you'll probably be going to Dens Park on Boxing Day. So,
lucky me, I've got Dundee Boxing Day trip yet, indeed.
Absolutely. Boxing Day is for the football. Everybody knows that.
Very much so, yeah. Exactly.
So that's how we share it between ourselves on the Celtic way. Tony will do the away games and I'll do the home games. So it's fair in that regard. But yeah, it's good that we're both sampling some festive football. Me tomorrow and you on Tuesday afternoon. So we'll both be looking forward to that. Hopefully 2 wins to talk about as well. And it makes the job just that little bit easier going into the 30th.
Exactly, Mundo. Guys, thank you very much. As I say, 130 odd people joining us. It's become a regular feature now on a Friday where we will discuss what's said at the press conference. We always put it up so you can have a read at it or the Q&A. It's there, the whole transcription. You can watch the video as well. You can hear what the manager said. But every Friday, that's what we'll endeavour to do, put the Q&A up so you can read it and see for yourself and the questions and the context of them. We think it's a good thing, and lots of people seem to enjoy it as well. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow, pre-match, post-match, you name it. Looking forward to it tomorrow. Not as much as Ryan, because he'll be there, so he'll be able to convey what that atmosphere is like on the post-match. But it's always result dependent. We shall reconvene. That's my like to say that, don't I, Ryan? We shall reconvene on such matters.
Yep. That's the Tony Bingo. That's the Tony Bingo.
You're usually, I always say to you, I will speak to you anon, isn't it? That's
clockwork. Absolute clockwork from you, Tony.
Indeed, but we'll speak to everybody anon, i.e. tomorrow. Looking forward to that. But thanks for your company on the briefing. Ryan, as always, stellar, my good friend. And I shall speak to you again tomorrow, and we will discuss all things Livingston post-match, and pre-match. We'll see what Brendan Rodgers does with our lineup. Intrigued by that.
Yep, very much so. Let's see who he picks for tomorrow's clash against Livingston. Maybe he might throw a couple of spanners in the works, but we'll see come 1:45 tomorrow.
No problem. Guys, if you like what we do, we always encourage you, hit that subscribe button. Please, we would appreciate it greatly. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. £4 for 4 months or 18 months for a yearly subscription. Yeah, that's the current deals that we've got. Hoping to grow the channel again in 2024. But we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Ryan, thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.